I hope you're doing well tonight. I hope you've had a really fun day. It was beautiful outside, wasn't it? I got to go swimming today for a little while, so I enjoyed being outside, and I hope that you had a good time being outside today because it was really beautiful. All right, let's talk about Readapalooza. You guys are on the move, and I love it. Right now, as of a few minutes ago, we were at 153,000 minutes. 153,553 minutes. There we go. As of just a few minutes ago. Second grade, you're still in first place. Second grade students, you guys are just on the ball. I can't even get over it. I'm so proud of you. You have logged 59,000 minutes, 547. Okay, and then fourth grade has logged 36,001 minutes. So great job to you. Keep up the good work. Keep logging your minutes. So I have two really fun books tonight, and they both kind of teach us a little bit of a lesson, and they're both about dogs. And of all the animals, dogs are probably my favorite. I had a very special dog, for a long time, and I just loved my dog, and I miss my dog even now. So I love to read books about dogs. So here it is. It's called Big Mean Mike. Okay, can you see him there? Big Mean Mike. I don't know, we're getting a little bit of a glare, so I might turn this just a bit. Let me see if I turn it this way. Maybe we won't get such a glare. And the author is Michelle Knutson. And inside is the jacket that always tells you just a little bit about what the story will be about. So it's a great commercial. And this is called Big Mean Mike. There it is. You can kind of see he must like his cars. So, Big Mean Mike was the biggest, toughest dog in the whole neighborhood. He had a big, mean bark and big, sharp teeth. He wore a big black collar with gleaming silver spikes, and his claws were big and mean and very, very pointy. Best of all, he had a big, mean car that he liked to drive around the big, mean streets. It made a big, mean sound whenever he revved the engine. Here comes Big Mean Mike, the other dogs would say. He's the biggest, toughest dog in the whole neighborhood. Everyone knew how big and tough he was, and that was just the way Mike liked it. One Tuesday, Mike decided to buy a new pair of combat boots. He liked the way they made his feet look extra big and mean. He came out of the store and admired his big shiny car. Then he opened up the big, wide trunk. And there, next to the big, Ruff spare tire, was a tiny, fuzzy bunny. "Hey," said Mike, "how'd you get in there?" The tiny, fuzzy bunny blinked up at him sleepily. He was very cute. Mike picked up the bunny and quickly set it down on the sidewalk. Big, mean dogs and tiny, cute bunnies don't go together. He peeled out and sped away, revving his engine a few extra times for good measure. They probably really don't go together. A big, mean dog and a tiny little bunny. On Wednesday, Mike got in his car to drive to the gym. He opened up the glove compartment to get out his gym pass. But when he reached inside for the shiny plastic card, he felt something else inside. We'll see you later. Something soft, something cuddly. What do you think it is? I think you're right. He leaned over to peer inside. What do you see there? The tiny, funny, fuzzy bunny was back, and this time he brought a friend. Hey, I told you to get out, Mike barked at the first bunny. He pointed at the second bunny. That goes for you too. Mike scooped up both bunnies, hoping that no one was looking. He put them down outside the car. He felt their little eyes watching him as he drove away. You see him right there? On Thursday, there were 3 tiny fuzzy bunnies sitting on the hood. Get off my car, you bunnies, Mike shouted. What if someone sees you up there? The bunnies did not get off. They looked at him and wiggled their cute little noses. Mike picked them up one by one and put them on the ground. Then he spelled it out for them. Big, rough dogs do not hang around with tiny, fuzzy bunnies. Okay? Beat it, scram, and don't come back. Mike found excuses not to use his car for the next few days. He didn't want to use his car. He was afraid somebody might see him with these tiny little bunnies. The next weekend, Mike had a ticket to the monster truck show. He had been looking forward to it for months. Monster trucks were big and mean, just like him. The show was in the next town over, too far to walk. Mike went out to his car. He looked carefully under the hood. Then he peeked inside the glove compartment. Hey, nothing to worry about, after all. He also checked the trunk. When he got to the stadium, the parking lot was full of big, mean dogs getting out of their own big, mean cars. None of them were as big and mean as Mike, of course, but some came pretty close. Mike turned off the ignition. The key slipped from his grasp and landed on the floor. A pair of tiny white paws reached out from under the seat and picked them up. Who could that be? Are they back? Ah! Cried Mike. He stared in dismay as 4 tiny fuzzy bunnies hopped up onto the seat. They twitched their soft, funny ears and blinked their cute eyes. No more bunnies, Mike yelled. Get out of my car. The bunnies just sat there looking at him. Fine, Mike growled. Stay in there. I'm not missing the show because of you. You see him there? He snatched up his keys and slammed the door. The bunnies gazed up at him with their sweet little fuzzy faces. Oh gosh, you guys, you are cute, Mike said. Then he looked around. I mean, I hate cute, grr. I'm Big Mean Mike. He started to walk away. Then he stopped and looked around again. A parking lot full of big, mean dogs was not a very good place for little bunnies. He couldn't leave them there alone. It wouldn't be safe. Arrgh, Mike growled. He had no choice. All right, bunnies, he said, you come with me, but I don't want the other dogs to see you. He got his gym bag out of the trunk. Hop in here and be quick about it. The bunnies hopped in the bag. Mike hurried inside and found his seat. The monster truck show was just starting. It was awesome. Mike felt his gym bag moving on the seat beside him. The bunnies were sticking their little heads out, peering around with bright, exciting eyes. All right, Mike whispered, you can watch. Just try not to let anyone see you. One by one, the bunnies climbed out onto Mike's lap. They nibbled pieces of his popcorn. They bounced in excitement whenever a big, mean truck cleared a jump or a little car got crunched under a big, tough tires. Mike couldn't bring himself to make them go back in the bag. They were having such a good time, and so was he. It was kind of fun to have someone to watch the show with. Even better to have several someones, even if they were tiny, fuzzy bunnies. Looks like he's having a good time. Hi, Logan Davidson. I'm glad you joined me tonight. It's good to see you. I hope you're having a good summer. When the show was over, Mike noticed a group of big, rough dogs waiting for him at the end of the aisle. Got some new little friends there, Mike? One dog asked. Didn't figure you for the cute and cuddly type, said another. Guess you're not so big and mean after all, a third dog barked. Soon all the dogs were laughing and pointing. Mike didn't know what to do. This was terrible. His image was ruined. Then one of the bunnies leaned forward and made a tiny growl sound, and the other bunnies all joined in. Mike looked down at them. Slowly, he smiled a big, mean smile. Then he looked back at the other dogs. You know what, Mike told him? I don't care what you think. I'm Big Mean Mike. I can hang out with whoever I want. I like these bunnies. They know how to have a good time, and they're adorable. Any of you got a problem with that? The other dogs all took a step back. No problem here, the first dog said. Yeah, we're just kidding around, said the second dog. Good, said Mike. Now get out of the way. My friends and I are going home. From that day on, Big Mean Mike went back to driving around the big, mean streets in his big, mean car. He still did everything in his own big, mean way, and everywhere he went, 4 tiny, fuzzy bunnies went with him. And that was just the way Mike liked it. So what do you think the lesson is that Mike learned? I think the lesson that Mike learned was that, he can be his own person and he can choose his friends and not worry about what other people think. So I think if you find a nice friend, a good person to be around, then you shouldn't care what other friends might think. It's good for you to pick your friends the way you want to. Big Mean Mike. It's a good story. I got it from the public library, the Minerva Public Library. So be sure to stop in there and pick up this book. The next one, Pig the Pug, was recommended to me by my grandchildren. They love this story. Pig the Pug. He looks a little ornery. This is by Aaron Blaby. This book belongs to Pig. Pig the Pug. There we go. Pig was a pug. And I'm sorry to say he was greedy and selfish in most every way. He looks a little selfish, doesn't he? He lived in a house with a wiener dog named Trevor. But when he was nice, He lived in a house with a wiener dog, Trevor. But when was he nice to him? I'll tell you, never. You've got some great toys there, poor Trevor would say. Looks like he wants to play with all the toys. But Pig would just grumble, they're mine, go away. But it might be more fun, Trevor said to Pig, if we both played together. Well, Pig flipped his wig. No, they are mine. Didn't you hear? Only mine. You keep your paws off of them. They are mine, mine, mine. I know what your game is. You want me to share, but I'll never do that. I won't, and I swear. And with that, he proceeded to gather his stuff and make a big pile with a huff and a puff. And once he had gathered them up in a pile, he howled from the top with a satisfied smile. There, shouted Pig, now you won't get my loot. It's mine, 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 so why don't you scoot? But just at that moment, poor Trevor did see the pile was wobbling. Oh, dear me. Watch out up there, good Trevor did cry. But the shame of it was, well, pigs can't fly. And I guess I should say pugs can't fly. These days it's different, I'm happy to say. It's so very different in most every way. Yes, Pig shares his toys now, and Trevor's his friend, and they both play together. While Pig is on the mend. Do you see that? He's in a body cast. He can't help himself. He's at the mercy of Trevor the dog, so he has to share his toys and play. What a cute, cute story. Pig the Pug. I'm really glad you joined me tonight. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next Wednesday night. Have a good evening.